Ethan Klein is set to expose the Reddit and Discord moderators that were stacked against him as he gears up in his lawsuits against Casey Tron, Frogan, and Denims. And this is absolutely one of the moments that is legally inevitable. And it's one of the moments that I think people didn't fully understand, but they're coming to grips now with how absolutely cooked they are going to be in court when they're seeing the consequences of their actions. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a legal mindset we teach you to be your own judge. Now, as I've stated, the legal basis for the Ethan Klein lawsuits, at least at a fundamental level, at a filing level, i.e., are these claims that are going to survive in court, survive a motion to dismiss? It looks pretty good for them. It looks very good for them in terms of their survivability in court. And we've gone over this on previous lives and previous Fast Facts. And of course, this is a Fast Facts video. So if you do like this format, please let me know in the comments below. But what we're getting to now is subpoenas. And we finally have just released the subpoenas that are going from the court, from Ethan Klein to all of these members to get these members' information at Reddit and Discord. And they're subpoenaing Reddit and Discord themselves. So they're not asking these moderators themselves personally, hey, can you dox yourself? Can you give us your personal information, please, pretty please? Oh, no. They're going to the companies and they're saying, hey, Reddit and Discord, as a company, you must comply with this and you must give us this information. A subpoena is a legal request to provide information. And historically, companies, particularly companies like Reddit and Discord, as much as they may say they have certain values and they may lean one way politically or another, at the end of the day, they're going to comply with the court. They don't want to deal with legal issues. They don't want to tie themselves up, and they have no individual loyalty to a mod or, somebody who's in a particular subreddit. So when they get these requests, they are going to turn over this information. And I think a lot of people, particularly on the internet, feel very shielded by the anonymity of a screen name, of a pseudonym, and they think that's going to protect my information forever. Well, that's not the case. And we're seeing that here in the Ethan Klein lawsuit. So here we have, and I'll go through these as courtesy of X, these subpoena documents. So you see here, subpoenaing documents and information, all documents and communications containing the personal identifying information. So anything they've got in their name, address, etc., email, all phone number if they've got it, whatever they have, they want on these Reddit users. So we've got this Reddit user, Exempic dealer. There you go. They're going to get their information revealed. H3 Snark Mod Team, H3 Snark Mod Team 2, Roman P, Right Salamander, Cav 2, H3 Snark Mod Team 3, Wrong Salamander, Right Salamander, Pure Press. And we've got a last page here, Kitchen Mukbang Star, Sarah Horn Jewett Sarah Horn, Jewett Horn Sarah, and all others that were moderators of the H3 Snark Reddit and the H3 Snark Discord. So you're going to get all that information turned over to Ethan Klein. The villain arc Ethan Klein, as people are saying, is going to have all of that information. And we kind of know where this leads. Oh, and by the way, there's a little bit more here. This is going as to Discord. You can see here the Discord handle Yogi Barracks, Ali Turn, and Roswell NM. So you've got other information from Poo and no reception. So this from Discord and from Reddit, you're going to have this information turned over. And a lot of people feel very, very free on Discord and Reddit, doing whatever they're going to do or saying whatever they're going to say. And they also think that deleting is going to cause these things to magically disappear, as if they're not saved, as if they're not archived, as if they can't be pulled up. That is absolutely not the case. In many cases, both civil and criminal, you've been able to go back, and companies have been able to go back and get all of these records because the companies maintain these records. And what this is going to lead to is certainly connections to other people which may be added to the lawsuit. So let's say, and this is not just hypothetically, this is almost certain here, that these people were speaking to other influencers, were speaking to perhaps people that are party to lawsuit, Denims, Frogan, Casey Trump, maybe other people. We talked about Sean DeBlack, right? Other folks that were connected to this. Those links are going to come in. And if there's any, for example, to Papa Hassan or anybody else, that'll come out too. Now, that's not to say whether there is or not, whether the Godfather Hassan was involved in this or not. We can't say right now. But if theoretically, hypothetically, there is, that will come out through discovery process, through this subpoena process. There's not going to be a defense or an exemption or something that's going to keep your Discord messages or your Reddit messages or comments or whatever else. There's nothing that's going to keep those from being exposed. There's no possible defense. And there's no lawyer out there, and I would challenge any lawyer to give me a defense that they would have for their Reddit communications or Discord communications that would keep those from being subpoenaed. I will wait, because there really isn't one, right? Once again, they can argue the unfairness, the power imbalance, et cetera, et cetera. Even if that's true, it doesn't change the legal reality. The legal reality is these documents and communications will be turned over in time. They're going to take some time to process it and look at it. Now, of course, if one of them was magically speaking to an attorney, maybe there might be some attorney-client privilege. I doubt it. I highly, highly doubt that these people were solely messaging and communicating with an attorney, right? The only other exception would be perhaps if some of these people were minors, there might be some filtering of information there. But other than that, there really isn't anything that would come up that would filter out information or communications. And I think this is where the broader case that Ethan Klein is going for is going to be built. He's going to build this broader case against those that collaborated, perhaps had a conspiracy, one might say, to use that term, to redirect views, to take those views from his videos. Because at the core, this is a copyright infringement case. So he needs to prove, hey, these people worked together and collaborated to draw views from my video. And to the extent that can be proved, that's going to be relevant to the case. However, there is going to be other information that's going to come out just as a natural course that is not directly related. How is this going to happen? Well, let's say you have an email or a message. Do you think these people are just talking about that? No, they're probably saying a whole lot of other things, perhaps some nasty things, perhaps some crazy things, perhaps some things that unveil other schemes and plots that they were into that Ethan Klein will now get a hold of. He'll have those documents, and at some point he may be able to reveal those. He may be able to turn those over to the public and release those out there. And that is not going to look good for that whole crew. It's going to look very bad for the crew. Now, do I think this is going to shut down entire communities or stop Reddit or stop Discord? No, of course it's not. But it's going to expose more and more people to liability as this case builds up over time. This thing will become bigger and bigger and grow. But what do you guys think about this? I'm interested to hear in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?